Hello, my name is Danny Nowlan and I'm the Director of ChassisSim Technologies. In this latest ChassisSim tutorial, what I'm going to cover with you today is what ChassisSim can do apart from lap time simulation. I had a very interesting prospective customer email the other day, and in that email, the prospective customer said, look, we really like what ChassisSim can do in terms of lap time simulation, but we're really struggling to get going with a tire model, and so where do we go? And that really got me to thinking that there are some misconceptions about what ChassisSim does, and there are also some misconceptions about what ChassisSim can't do. And what I want to talk to you about today is all the stuff that ChassisSim does that actually doesn't fall under the banner of lap time simulation per se. So let's get started. The first thing that ChassisSim does that doesn't fall under the banner of lap time simulation is, not surprising, tire force modeling. Now, this is actually one of ChassisSim's biggest trump cards, and I've done a number of tutorials on this, and I don't want to get into the technical nitty-gritty about how it works, but the great thing about ChassisSim is because it uses a completely transient vehicle dynamic model, it opens up a lot of possibilities that we can go through and explore. And one of these possibilities is doing a whole bunch of track replays that can go through and minimize the difference between actual G and simulated G. And here's the thing, you don't even need to do a lap time simulation to get the full benefit of something like this, because once you've done this, you can then open up your tire model to see what exactly your tire did. So think of that basically like a tire. Think of this like a tire force dyno. The other thing that ChassisSim brings to the party is the aero modeling tool. Aero modeling toolbox. Now this was created to take race data and go for was created to take race data and use that to back out what the aero map was going to do on the car. Because part of the problem is that one of the challenges that you'll face is that sometimes getting aero data for a race car can be very, very difficult, and sometimes the data that you do get that's supposed to have been wind tunnel tested actually isn't that good to begin with. So the end result of actually using that is to populate a table just like this, and that's really our goal. So as you can see, the beauty about something like this is that you can go through, use the aero modeling toolbox and use that to back out what the pitch sensitivity maps look like, and also to what your downforce levels look like. And if you go into the ChassisSim help directory, there's a whole quick start guide there dedicated to how to employ the aero modeling toolbox. The other thing that ChassisSim brings to the party is the track replay simulation. What this does is it takes the actual data and does a track replay. What the power of this is that it allows you to quickly look at the variables that otherwise would be really, really difficult to log on a race car. Things like cambers, or if you're in certain racing categories where you're not allowed to run ride height sensors, after you've done during race weekends, you can actually do your calibration in your testing. And once you've got your testing, you can use this to investigate the channels that you can't get to. And that's actually another key thing that ChassisSim brings to the party. The other big thing that ChassisSim brings to the party that you can make a lot of use use for is the shaker rig toolbox. Now, the beauty about the shaker rig toolbox is that what it does is it allows you to look at the car response in the frequency domain, so that you can start to use this to take a look at things like contact patch load variations, what the heave response of the car is going to do, and what the cross pitch response of the car is going to do. Now, I've done a number of tutorials on the ChassisSim YouTube channel and in the blog about how to employ this. plus I've also written a few race car engineering articles about this as well, and I really encourage you to chase those up because this has been used in anger. So there you go. In a nutshell, ChassisSim isn't just about lap time simulation. You can use it to reverse engineer things like what your tires are doing, what your aero is doing. You can use it for track replays, but also too you can use it for frequency based analysis. But again, don't take my word for it. I've just given you a very, very quick overview of what this does. But if you're not a member of the ChassisSim community, go to our online simulation. Download this. It doesn't have the Shaker Rig toolbox or the aero modeling, but it will have access to the tire force modeling and the track replay, so you can have a bit of a play with that. Or if you're an existing ChassisSim user, by all means, take these out for a spin, and we'll catch you in the next ChassisSim video tutorial.